Hello, mate. Assalamu alaikum. Olá, abadi. Bonjour. Ni hao. Welcome to the episode number 4 of Data Analysis with Stata. For this one, the contents are wide versus long, statistical table. Reshape command is used to reorganize the structure of a dataset, transforming it between wide and long formats. Wide format is used when each observation is spread across multiple columns, typically representing different time points, groups, or categories. For example, if you have data on individuals measured at different time points, each time point variables might be in a separate column. Advantage: first is intuitive representation for some analysis. Second is easy to read and understand when the number of time points or groups is small. Disadvantages can be inefficient in terms of storage, especially if there are many time points or groups. Second disadvantage: not always suitable for certain types of statistical analysis, like panel data analysis. Long form or long format takes these columns into a single column, creating a longer dataset with additional variables indicating the grouping or time information. For example, if you have data on individuals measured at different time points, the long form might be or might have a column for the individual ID, a column for the time point, and a column for the variable. Each row represents a unique combination of individuals, time point, and variable value. The advantages of long form is that, first, more efficient in terms of storage, especially when there are many time points or groups. Second, facilitates certain types of statistical analysis such as panel data analysis and mixed effects models. Disadvantages: can be less intuitive to read and understand, especially for individuals unfamiliar with the long form structure. And the second disadvantage is that data may become very long, especially when there are many time points or groups. And why do we use these forms? The choice between wide and long forms depends on the nature of your data and the analysis you plan to conduct. So, without further ado, I've talked too much already. Let's go to practice to see how these forms or this command reshape works in Stata. So we have our Stata platform here. Let's open the do file. I hope that you haven't forget the steps. Of course, let's start changing our directory. We have our directory here. It's changed already. Now let's bring the dataset which we want to use it with the command use. Don't forget that when the name of the dataset have some spaces, we normally use the quotation mark. So use XDA space 2021. This is the name of the dataset which I want to open. Let's see if it works. It's working very well. Now, as you can see, this is the dataset, the variables, and as you can see, we have different variables separated by columns. We have a lot of columns here. Each variable represents a column here, as you can see. Cost OPEX 1, cost OPEX 2, cost OPEX 3, until 6, and the other ones. Investment until 6, participants 6, variables. So one variable is separated for different columns. It's separated by 6 groups, as you can see. So we don't want this. This format is on wide form. This data set is on wide form. So we want to change to long form. Okay. Don't forget the definition of long form and why we are changing. So how we can change using this command. Without going to the do file, we can first type all the command here and then copy and paste on the do file. So reshape long. Okay. Now let's bring just one variable which represent these different groups. For example, cost OPEX 1, Y investment 1, T participants 1, investment participants 1, M C on T 1, benefits 1. Okay, I think these are all of them. Okay, so let's delete these numbers in the end of each variable, because we want to have a unique variable for each group of these variables. Delete these numbers here. Delete all these numbers. Good. Now a comma. Let's use this I. Why we are using I here? I is used to specify one or more variables that uniquely identify each observation in the original dataset. These variables define the unit of observation, such as individuals' IDs, country codes, or any other identifier that distinguishes each row. In our dataset, we can use, for example, time within this bracket here. And then J. Why J? J is used to specify the variable that indicates the wide or long structure of the dataset. In wide form, this variable represents the different groups or time points, and in long form, it represents the variable names that will be created during reshaping. So we can create any name, group, or maybe pension. Let's just aggregate or group these variables by pension. Instead of run here, let's cut from here and bring it here in our do file, as you can see. And then let's run. I know that you have noticed that our dataset has changed. The number of variables have decreased, and we have this information to confirm. As you can see, on wide format, there are 12 observation and 40 variables. Going to long form, now we have more observations, 72 observations, and the number of variables have decreased to 11. And we have the new variable which we have created, pension, with 6 values which represent the groups. Now just look this info: cost OPEX 1, cost OPEX 2, until cost OPEX 6 is became only cost OPEX, and the other variables have followed the same path. As you can see, we don't have cost OPEX 1, 2, 3, and 6. We don't have YINV 1, 2. We only have one variable for each group. That's why we have more number of observations. Just to perform a statistical table, we can use this command tab stat For example, you can use this variable here, what investment, and group by pension, the new variable that we have. This by default will give us the mean of these variables. Let's run. And we have here the results. Summary statistics give you this table grouped by pension. The 6 categories. These are the means of each group and the total. But imagine that you want to convert again from long to wide. Very simple. Just copy this and change. Instead of long, wide. Voila. It's become as the previous data set. You see? And you can see that the observations have returned. The long, it was 72 observations, now it's 12 again. The number of variables on long was 11. Now it's 40 again. And the variable pension was dropped. So this is the end of this episode. I hope that you have enjoyed. I'm flattered for your support. Thank you so much. Shukran lak. Muito obrigado. Asante sana. Merci beaucoup. Checheni. And see you soon in the next episode of data analysis using Stata.